Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So, like always, when I get KSM, I like to come back to Thunder Bluff and kind of reflect on the season and look at I love coming back to Thunder Bluff because this is where it all started. I started as a Tauren warrior, and I did level my warrior. I did do some Mythic Plus with him a little bit, but I got Keystone Master on the Druid this time, Boomkin, and I wanted to kind of reflect on the season a little bit. A lot of things have changed. I'm a pretty big casual player now. I'm really enjoying Wrath of the Lich King raiding. I raid so much on Wrath of the Lich King, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy the slow pace. I enjoy the bosses. How we don't have a crazy amount of everything to do. It's really enjoyable. I'm not enjoying retail, and I get it that the retail is probably better than it has been in quite a long time. But the way that I play the game is I do Mythic Plus. I don't raid too much. I have been raiding a little bit more, and I do think the raid is actually pretty good. We're still working on AOTC. We've had so many people quit the game, despite the game being at its probably better state, right? I think we can agree that it's at a better state, but I think we're losing people pretty quickly, surprisingly. Not sure how that works. But there's not a lot of people playing and not a lot of people doing rating or keys. And the players we did have, we're losing pretty fast. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. But I will say this: I'm on. We're on the last boss. We're on heroic Raz, and we're progressing on that. Did get him to 37%, so that should be dead within a week or two. So, but we're not talking about that. Let's talk about the season. So I'd consider myself a casual player at the moment for retail. Haven't done much. I do my a few keys here and there. Um, Keys is what I love to do. I love to do Mythic Plus on retail, and unfortunately, this season just was not a good season. I did not enjoy the dungeons. I'm not enjoying the direction they're going. I personally feel the dungeons are way too hard. I feel there's too much going on. It feels like they're just throwing everything at us, and it's like this is not enjoyable. Like when I do I'm gonna compare it to Classic a lot because that's what I've been doing. I'm gonna compare it to Classic Wrath of the Lich King. We have Heroic Plus. Now Heroic Plus is it's a slight little buff on the things, but I enjoy doing it. It's real quick, it's easy. I'm like, we can skip bosses to get the thing done. Super enjoyable, and I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy getting a Mythic Plus done for my vault. I don't. Um, I do feel Shadowlands Mythic Plus was way better than Dragonflights, and I know people do not like to hear anything positive about Shadowlands, but I definitely feel that they were way better. I just like let's look at what I've done, I guess, and we can kind of explain. So obviously, you don't have to get a 15 in each one this season, which is nice. But let's talk about offensive. As you can see, I have a 12 overtime. I think that was done in the very beginning, and then I did a fortified 8. This dungeon is horrible. And it might have got nerfed and stuff, but the elementals on fortified before the second boss, like everything's casting so much. Bad dungeon. Bad dungeon. And this is my opinion. Some of you guys might love them. Bad dungeon. Academy, it was okay. It wasn't bad. The tree boss got nerfed to the ground, but other than that, I don't really mind it. It's not too bad. Ruby life pools, I think it's a cool design. But some of the there's just so much going on when you're in that ring, and you have all the casters, and you have the dragons coming down. There's so much to micromanage. It's okay. I just didn't really like it. Jade, I really like Jade. I think Jade was a fun dungeon. I think the remake, they did really well on it. There was some slight differences, so I thought they did a really good job. Um, yeah, I really like Jade. I know there was a few things that were going on with some of the ads and stuff, but other than that, it was really fun. I liked it. Burial Ground was another one that was not super bad. As you can see, I only did on a 15 fortified. I didn't even really bother with it on Tyrannical, but I thought this dungeon was okay. Um, AV. AV was another one that was a little frustrating. Like the last boss, before it got nerfed, the spikes on Tyrannical sucked. Uh, there was the mobs. I don't know. I have an issue like with the trash in most of these dungeons. But we'll talk about that after. But AV was whatever. Halls, I like Halls. I think Halls is pretty cool. Court of Stars, I'm not a personal fan of Court of Stars. I know some people really like it. Just not for me. Got it done though, so that is what it is. But I will say this about the trash mobs. I feel like I don't mind the bosses being harder. Like, I would say I prefer Tyrannical. Like, I don't know what are my times. Do we have more in Tyrannical? I probably have more in Fortified actually, huh? There's a Tyrannical one. There's Fortified, 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 and Tyrannical. I guess it's a little mix. I guess there's more people pushing on Fortified. Maybe I'm not sure why I got more done on Fortified. I actually prefer Tyrannical. I think Tyrannical bosses are they feel really good. I know it gets really hard, but I feel the bosses should be a little bit more mechanical. Trash, it seems like the trash has more mechanics than some of the bosses. Sometimes it feels, and I did not enjoy that part of it. They just get harder and harder. Will I go for Keystone Master next season? I think they're doing some changes. And I think it's going to be a little bit easier. They're taking away the seasonal fix. Seasonal fix, I think Thundering sucked. Can we all agree on that? You know what? Thundering was great if it didn't stun you. I think Thundering would have been so fun to kind of play around if it didn't have the stun mechanic. I think if you had that little buff for the X amount of seconds that it gives you, and you could just pump, it would have been awesome. But the fact that there was a penalty applied to it made it horrible. And I honestly think... So the affixes. Let's talk about affixes a little bit, because it's been years since we've really had different affixes. Like, Sanguine was in the first season of Mythic Plus and Legion. I think we had Sanguine because I remember Sanguine sucked in Maw Souls going through the little things. I think we had Volcanic too. I think we have Explosive. I think most of them are all the same. The only thing that's different, well, it's not really different, but the only thing that's different is Fortified and Tyrannical being set on like a 2 versus a 10. It used to be set as a 10. Once you got to a 10, then it got buffed up. But I think they're just outdated. I don't think they're... I think there's a lot of work that they can be done. Let's sum it up. I'm kind of rambling here. Not a good season. Was it an easy season to get Keystone Master? I think so. I definitely think for points wise, not having to do a 15 on each, I think was nice. But overall, a horrible season for me. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. I think there are a few people that It was their first time actually getting a pretty high score, so they were pretty excited about it. The first time ever pushing 20s, and they were like, let's go. But other than that, I think a majority of the people got Keystone Master and said, screw this. That's what I did. I just got it. I wasn't even trying for it. It would just kind of happened organically. But it was still just a bad season. Anytime I had to do a Mythic Plus, I was not happy. Alright, guys. That's about it. Thank you guys for being here. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. Do what you need to do. Have you got KSM yet? Are you going to? How'd you like it? Later.